Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silent reflection. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Lobozinski, the floor is yours.
Okay. Mr. Elliott,
Present.
Mr. Garcia,
Here.
Mrs. Smith-Gomez. Here. Mr. Kuba.
Here.
Mr. Crowe.
Present.
The record show all are present and counted for.
Thank you. We had no public participation at board meetings. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
I will motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Allier. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
I want to abstain since I was out of the country.
Mr. Kroll. The World Traveler would like to abstain. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. So do we have any discussion? Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Aye. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Motion passes. Dr. Smith, any correspondence?
None at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. And how about a superintendent?
Yeah, I'll be brief because there's a lot going on. We have a girls sectional track right now, I think, if weather permits. They're running right now. And then we have a jazz band. We got jazz band going again with our new band director. She's doing a fantastic job. Numbers are up. So she has a concert going on this evening, but I think it's supposed to end about 7, so hopefully we might be able to catch the tail end of that or not. But a couple quick things. First of all, I want to make an announcement. A lot of school districts are making this announcement, so I figured I'd just come out. I'll have more information, and maybe we'll cast a vote, but we're working on doing an online school for next year. That online school would not replace what our normal students, as in our full-time in-person students do. It's more to capture those students that, for a lot of different reasons, are not or can't stay at school. That may be because they've been expelled from school. And we can keep them in the online program to help them with their credits and stay tethered to them, so when they do come back, serving their consequence, they can jump back into school and have their credits. Some students have some mental health issues, anxiety issues, and tend to drop out a few a year and sign up for online charters. We can capture those, keep those students with us. And then sometimes we have medical issues with kids that can't come to school every day, and we can also work with those students. We don't expect it to be very many kids, but even if we just did, let's say 20 kids, that would be $120,000, $130,000. And as budgets get tight, money gets tight, why not try to capture those students instead of take a kid who's maybe being expelled for a semester a year and put them out on the street, and then they're credit deficient when they come back. So I wanted to mention that. It would not take a place again of students in our full-time school. I still am a huge believer in a kid and a teacher in a classroom is where kids learn best. At least 99% of the kids learn best in those situations. These kids wouldn't participate in sports or the prom or the other stuff. It's just literally to keep kids tethered to Highland, so we're gaining and keeping their credits going, and we're getting some funding for them while we're doing it as well. So I just wanted to make that, because I've seen some other schools do it, and I don't want some of the Highland kids to jump to those schools. We will be offering that if the board so approves that in June. So,
looking at the next 3 years, where we're going to be down $3 million roughly, fully encourage trying to fund other funding options.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention that tonight, just get that out there, so people heard that. A couple more things. Just great. Thanks for a great year. It's unbelievable that it's almost over. We have 6 days of school left for these students. We'll make it 6 days. Good luck on your final exams for the high school students. Good luck to our athletes as they finish their year. I think we have some real shots at winning some sectionals and maybe softball and baseball, and we have a couple of runners that were all made it to state last year. A couple girls, and then Jalen Strienemeyer, our distance runner, who we think that they have a real shot if they stay healthy and run their best to get to state this year. which is June 6th and 7th. So I think, we've got some successful things hopefully happening here in the next week and a half, 2 weeks in athletics as well. Thanks to our seniors. I appreciate, 12 years. You're going to be missed. It's crazy. When I came here in Highland, you were kindergartners. And now 12 years later and they're graduating. It's unbelievable. So big thanks, and we will see them on June 5th for graduation, and that's it.
Thank you, Smith. Appreciate it. On to board reports. Ms. Elliott, anything?
Nothing so far.
Ms. Garcia?
Yeah, last week was the Highland Griffith Chamber of Commerce meeting. They had a presentation from WJOB on TV, WJOB, the new radio and streaming network for the NTC conference. So we're kind of talking about all the ways that people can engage with our high school athletics in our conferences. That was interesting, and would encourage everyone to make sure you're up to date with all the new bills that have been passed in the legislature. I believe a handful were able to attend the meeting for ISBA, and I assume Lisa Tantel did a good job of kind of explaining what some of the new rules and regulations are. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Ms. Gomez?
Yes. Excuse me. I attended the NISAC meeting on May 4th, or May 14th last week. The budget was approved. I will talk more about that as probably in June. They were going to make some cuts, but they wanted to share it kind of internally before we talked about it on a grand scale. They decreased their capital projects budget by $50,000 this year due to expected cuts, and they are also decreasing their office hours at Eagle Park this summer, so they want me to let everyone know to call before you go. In good news, Best Buddies, the Southridge Elementary Best Buddies team came in second behind Crown Point High in the Best Buddies Friendship Walk, and that is the entire, I believe it might be all of Lake County, but it's a large area, so props to Southridge on that. NISAC is developing a Special Education Parent Advisory Council, CPAC for short, with one parent from each district. If you are interested in being involved, please let me know or let Dr. Smith know on that. And Eagle Park graduation is May 22nd at 1 p.m. And I believe a couple of us will be able to attend that, and I'm looking forward to it. That is all.
Great. Thank you very much. Mr. Kuba?
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. From a redevelopment perspective, just some continued potential redevelopment discussions on a couple of areas across the town of Highland. Also, I guess it kind of falls under the redevelopment and the park board. They have begun the construction of the fence that's going to surround Main Square. That, in anticipation of the completion of that, will be prior to the 4th of July Fest. It's going to be, the fence it's going to look nice, aesthetically pleasing. There'll be some openings for the trucks come in and out for the festivals that are there, and then there'll be various entry areas as well that will be completed, as I said, right prior to the 4th of July Fest. From the park board perspective exclusively, Alex Brown, as I mentioned before, has announced his retirement, and so we as a park board will be meeting this coming Thursday to discuss the candidates and select, most likely, Alex's replacement. So that will be coming at likely a special meeting that will take place, I would think, next week sometime. And then, as mentioned, the 4th of July Fest is coming. The fireworks will be back at Homestead this year. The fireworks will not be on the 4th of July. They're going to be on I believe the Sunday, which is the last Sunday of the festival. Other than that, nothing further to report. So, hello, Mrs. Adams. How's it going today?
Good.
We move to financial for our treasurer's report.
Okay, a copy of that treasurer's report was included in your board packet. I'm requesting approval of the report as presented.
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Vouchers.
A copy of the final voucher docket was also included in your board packet. I recommend that it be approved as well.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Do I have that motion?
So moved, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Mrs. Gomez, I did it. First time in a couple meetings. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion besides the fact that I can't get your name right?
You could just go with Smith. I have a lot of names. Pick one. Doesn't matter.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Donations.
Okay, we have received the following donations. Middle school received from the Lake County Prevent Child Abuse Council, $50 donation for student activities. The rest of the donations are for the high school. We have McFarland Homes, $500 for boys and girls basketball. And the Performing Arts Boosters provided the choir department with storing and shelving that's valued at $9,189. People's Bank and Randy Walker has donated $100 for athletics. Pleasant View has donated milk valued at $65, and that was for the honors breakfast. And Goodfellows Clubs donated $100 for the boys basketball camp. Excuse me. I request your approval to accept those donations.
Thank you. Do I have that motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve the donations as received.
Support, Mr. President. Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, I would, as usual, like to thank everyone who donated. Some of these are new to me or maybe new to donating to our school, and we appreciate them. Just a special shout out to the Performing Arts Boosters. That is a huge donation, $9,189. They do a great job of raising money and raising awareness for our performing arts here in Highland, and are great on social media as well, so we appreciate them. And also to Randy Walker, because that man is everywhere. And he does so much for our school, so we appreciate him.
So the Performing Arts Boosters have actually started having 50-50 raffles at all various concerts that they have, and more often than not, whoever wins it donates it all back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a lot of work going into that.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. On to review property casualty school board legal insurance policies.
The administration is requesting approval of the following liability insurance policies for the 25-26 school year. It's a total package cost of $385,497 versus $373,983 from last year. This is an increase of $11,514. We are recommending a switch from AmFed National to Indiana Public Employers Plan for our workers' compensation insurance. Our mod rate has decreased from 1.26 to 1.15, which is heading in the right direction. You want to hit at a 1.0. We will be renewing with Church Mutual and underwriters at Lloyd's for the remaining coverages. I request your approval for those insurance policies.
Thank you.
President, motion to approve.
Support. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, and thank you, Mr. Kuva, for your support. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I would just add, we had a great year. Our things were way down. Workers' comp was way down. Board legal for lawsuits was non-existent. It's just, unfortunately, insurance is very expensive right now. As they look at, a tornado were to knock a building down, it would cost so much more to replace than it would have a couple of years ago. So that boosted it up just enough for, we probably should have paid less with as good a year as we had, but the insurance trends were just so high, we ended up having to spend just shy of $12,000 more, which probably is good compared to what most school districts are having to pay right now.
It's a pretty modest increase
Mm-hmm.
as far as increases, so appreciate all that.
But that's a good example of when they say, you're only getting 1% new money or 9.9% new money, or it's like, well, this stuff continues to go up,
Right.
you know, whether, yeah,
And the NIPSCO rate increases.
16 to 20%, yeah.
Mr. President, if I may?
Yes.
Just think it's important that we note that while we're talking about these various different policies, that the vast majority of it is in property casualty and workers' comp. So if any patrons are concerned about what the costs are, that the cost for the school board legal or cyber is not as significant as compared to property casualty and workers' comp. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. You have before you the special services.
Okay, a copy of the Buildings and Grounds report was included in your board packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
No? All right. On to the interlocal corporation agreement.
Yeah, Mr. President, I would ask tonight for the approval for the Town of Highland and the Town Council Resolution number 2025-06. It's a resolution approving an interlocal cooperation between the Town of Highland and the school town for the utilization of a police social worker program services for the 2025-26 school year. Basically, it's the town is going to cover the majority of the cost for a social worker to help be mostly stationed here, but work also with the town, with our youth. And we have to come up with, as the contract says here, the resolution says, we have to come up with $15,000, and that money is, we're coming up with out of one of our title grants. So if the Department of Education, you know, there's been some talk about the Department of Education going away at the federal level, and if the federal title money goes away, we do have it for this year, next year. If it goes away, then the town is aware that we can no longer contribute the $15,000. So this is not money coming out of money we'd pay for teachers or pay for, you know, education from that standpoint. It's all federal dollars, federal title dollars. And if the Department of Ed title money goes away, this goes away, we won't do it after that. But I hats off to the town for working with us on this. There is a huge need for social workers in schools, especially in Highland right now. Most districts have them, we don't. Failed in the referendum, we weren't able to get one. This, for $15,000 of federal dollars, that's a great deal to get a social worker. So, yeah.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Thank you, Mrs. Gomez, for your support. Any discussion? I just would like to thank you, Dr. Smith and the town council. I know Bill Scaringa was holding this pretty close to his heart, and he put a lot of effort, and Dr. Lack, I'm sure you played a pretty key piece in this as well. So
Kelly Gossman as well.
all that, yeah, Mrs. Gossman, thank you, absolutely. So it's a great program, and you know, hopefully, you know, who knows what's going to happen with executive orders flying about. We hope that that funding stays, and we're able to use that year over year. So appreciate it.
Quick question. I know we talked about being unable to afford this on our own, but about how much does a school social worker cost? I mean, what's the average? There's no way we can afford it, but just what's the average rate?
I mean, I would venture similar to a starting year. I mean, depending on their years of experience, is similar to a starting year teacher, but then add in insurance as well. So it could be anywhere from your 70, 75.
Yeah, they were, when we met with the town, the way it all started, they invited us to the police station, and we met with some of the police officers. Griffith is doing this already, and it's very successful in Griffith. So the Griffith social workers came and explained how they do it, which was very helpful. And we asked, what does a going rate go? Social workers don't make a lot of money in our country, you know, unfortunately, like teachers don't make a lot of money. Probably underpaid, but they were throwing out numbers like $50,000, $60,000 for an entry-level social worker. Social workers been at it a long time, maybe making 60, 70, 80, but then you add in, you know, full-time, and the town will cover this, not us. Your health insurances can, you know, be anywhere from $20,000 to $25,000 if you take family plan, those things. We always add in at least $25,000 in fringe benefits.
I mean, if I can add, I think that the thing that I'm most excited about is it's a low cost for us to test the waters on something that we think is valuable, but we don't have to invest in great dollars right now for, because they can be an excellent bridge for us to resources that our families need. That sometimes it's just difficult for our staff members to get into the homes if there's things that are going on, if there's a lot of different needs we have in our communities. So social workers can bridge that gap between resources in our families and then help us to understand what's going on behind the scenes, and they can work in tandem with our counselors that are in the schools too. So it's an excellent opportunity to see if the value is what we think it is, and then if we can allocate dollars towards it in the future, great. And if it's a low risk for us right now for a real good glimpse at whether or not there's value to it in the future. So I'm excited about the opportunities for sure.
Thanks, appreciate it. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
On to curriculum, Dr. Erlach.
Thank you. Our elementary teachers, principals, and textbook selection committee and Title I directors spent time over the last 4 months analyzing reading series that are most aligned to what we need as a district, and then also that have the state mandated tenets of the science of reading. They have selected McGraw-Hill's Open Court, and it's a kindergarten through 5th grade reading curriculum. The cost over 6 years is $363,818. That does include workbooks for the 6 years, digital access, professional development. The most of that professional development is in that first year for successful implementation. So first off, I'd like to thank everyone that was involved in that. It's a lot of extra time beyond contract hours to select the appropriate curriculum, and I just ask for the board to approve the purchase.
Thank you, Dr. Erlach. Do I have that motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Open Court K-5 reading.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Thank you for your support, Mr. Allier. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Can I add one thing, Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to go on record to say that there's a 6-hour training that goes along with this. It's outside of contract hours that I was struggling to find the right time to be able to do so. We get out of school on Thursday. The best time to be able to do it was Friday. The vendor had that availability. Our teachers get out of school, let me say that again, on Thursday. And we are, of the 53 available elementary teachers, 49 are coming on Friday. And the ones that had prior commitments, but I said, this is outside your contract. We were able to pay them out of Title II federal money at a $30 an hour rate, so it's not huge money. I just thought it really spoke volumes of the professionalism and the care for our kids, and for the fact that they know they're going to need this for their next year. So I just really want to say thank you to all the teachers for being willing to step up like that. It means a great deal.
I do appreciate that. I've said it before, and I'll say it, I'm sure, as long as I'm here, right? Our staff goes above and beyond. It's well beyond the pay. It's really what's best for the student, what's best for the school town, and they really put their individual selves aside and continue to just show how much they care about this place. So thanks for pointing that out, Dr. Erlach. Professional leaves.
Professional leave requests are submitted for board review and recommended for approval.
Do I have that motion to approve, Mr. President?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for your support. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Retirements and resignations.
Yes, these ones aren't too bad once we get to the other, well, I'll do this first.
Appointments are long.
Yeah. Alice Litch, retirement, and I want to stop and say, as paraprofessional, middle school, but she's done quite a few different positions for us over the years, 24 years. 24 years as a paraprofessional in our district, so that's off to her. Her retirement is May 29, 2025. Reginald Fuller, termination, bus driver for the school corporation, April 29, 2025. Karen Nelson, resignation as a paraprofessional, Southridge, May 29, 2025. Kay Zavaka, resignation as a first grade teacher at Merkley, May 29, 2025. John Lichtel, resignation as a business teacher at the middle school, May 29, 2025. Emmy Terry, resignation as a Title I aide at Warren, May 29, 2025. Barb Whiting, resignation dependent care aide at Warren, May 9, 2025. Peyton Reed, resignation as dependent care aide Johnson, May 9, 2025. Jessica Hogg, resignation as student council sponsor at the middle school, May 29, 2025. And Cameron Falati, resignation as the girls JV basketball coach at the high school, May 29, 2025. I so recommend.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the resignations and retirements.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia, and thank you, Ms. Gomez, for your support. Any discussion? Alice Lynch, 24 years, paraprofessional. That was fantastic. Great run. I wish you a long, happy, healthy retirement. Thank you for those years of service. Greatly appreciated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Appointments and transfers.
Yes, some of
Have a
these,
drink.
I'm going to, they're for the 25-26 school year unless read differently. I'll just say that. That may save a little time. It's a long list because we're hiring coaches for next year, so that's why it's a long list. We're trying to knock them all out in the same evening, and summer school teachers. So that's why we've got the list tonight. Christina Sandoval, appointment as the cheer coach in the middle school. Jamie Houchin, transfer bookkeeper to athletic secretary at the high school, July 21st, 2025. Edwin DeJesus, appointment as the JV assistant softball coach at the high school for the 24-25 school year. Joel DeJesus, appointment as the JV assistant softball coach at the high school for the 24-25 school year. Edwin DeJesus, appointment as the head JV softball coach at the high school for the 24-25 school year. Carlene Flynn as the girls soccer coach volunteer at the high school. Anna Nolasco, appointment as the assistant cheer coach at the high school. Tara Cox, Jeff Tarosi, it's a shared position, and Donald Lyles, appointment summer school credit recovery teachers at the high school, June 2nd through June 26th. Frank Storino, appointment as a summer school credit recovery aide at the high school, June 2nd through June 26th. Carson Crow, Hunter Hednall, James McCormick, Bradley Trichuk, and Kyle Wolf, appointments as assistant varsity football coaches at the high school. Jay Taroshi, appointment as the freshman football coach at the high school. John Stiglitz and Kenneth Sperry, appointments as assistant freshman football coaches at the high school. Julia Anto, appointment as a JV head volleyball coach at the high school. Heather Chirilla, appointment as the freshman head volleyball coach at the high school. Katie McCorkle, appointment as JV head girls soccer coach at the high school. Stephanie Skorinsky, appointment as the volunteer girls soccer program at the high school. Alejandro Madrigal, appointment as the volunteer boys tennis program at the high school. Sasha Zernja, appointment as a volunteer boys cross country program at the high school. Andrea Cunningham, appointment as the head girls cross country coach at the high school. Sierra Lee, appointment as the volunteer girls cross country coach at the high school. Angel Blankenship, appointment as the varsity head cheer coach at the high school. Megan Olzanski, appointment as the varsity head dance coach at the high school. Layla Fryaxel, appointment as the JV dance coach at the high school. And Vanessa Harrington, appointment as a volunteer cheer coach at the middle school. I so recommend.
Motion to approve, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. That brings us to audience comments. If you're interested, please step up to the podium. We have two people, so you guys can rock, scissors, paper. As one of you heads up, just a reminder that we cannot comment on active investigations, we cannot comment on individual employee or HR issues, and we never comment on individual students or their concerns or issues.
Hi.
Hi, say your name and address, please.
My name and address?
Please.
My name is Antonia Mendez, 8716 Cottage Grove Avenue in Highland. I am a Southridge parents to a kindergartner, and she'll be graduating this year. So I come to bring concerns of our playgrounds to the board's attention. There's multiple missing slides. There's pieces of plywood with holes in them where kids could get their fingers caught in them. The plywood is unfinished, so kids could get slivers. And then the plywood itself, it's on raised structures. And if you ask me, the plywood's a little short to be on there. And if kids were like roughhousing, someone could easily topple over. So I know like everyone's hurting for money, but I was wondering, like, is there anything that can be done in regards to the playground? I mean, even the mulch, there's like the netting underneath the mulch that's getting pulled up because of the overuse. There's rust on the structures themselves that the gripping is coming off, so the structures are rusted. And the only new piece of equipment that we have is the equipment that the teacher council paid for this year. So I was wondering, is there anything that can be done, or how can we get this issue addressed? Because it's a concern of many parents.
Sure. I'll actually kind of address that. I'm going to start right now because I'm pretty familiar with the situation. My kids all went to Southridge. So yeah, the playground there is, that I actually looked at it recently because some concerns made their way to me. By the way, Dr. Smith and Dr. Erlach have been pretty involved in the process. I don't know if you've actually brought these concerns up to them or Mr. Beveridge, principal of the school.
I don't believe so.
Okay, because yeah, that's typically a pretty good first step because they're pretty actively involved in it. I too, as I mentioned, I've been there, I've looked at it, and there are some pieces that are in pretty bad shape. It looks like there was perhaps, they've had some assistance in getting to the state that they were in. I think we're currently looking at removing some of those pieces that are in worse shape.
Mm-hmm. And replacing them?
Well, that's the key piece, right? Because as I mentioned earlier, the state is cutting our funding by $3 million, at least based on the numbers right now, over in total for the next 3 years.
But doesn't Southridge have the most kids out of all the Warren, Merkley, Johnston?
Again, you know, we prefer to make sure we could teach our classes and fund our teachers first. While I personally feel playgrounds are important, I need to figure out, and they need to figure out, and I don't want to speak for you guys, you can also, you know, speak for yourselves, but in my own personal opinion, I need to make sure that we could teach the kids first. And while the playgrounds are important, we have other things that we're probably going to realistically have to address, just being forthcoming and honest. But I do agree that some of those pieces in the state that they're in, we probably need to get them removed. And I think we had an insurance, our insurer was coming to take a look, and
they won't cover that piece anymore.
Yeah. So
do you know which piece it is?
That big piece that you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to come out.
So it will be removed this summer then?
We're not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let
Probably,
you
yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to have to. It's uninsurable.
So is there anything that can be done, I guess, because it's like we've got the most kids at this, you know.
Well, I think some things have been done actually, because I think the PTC and the teachers involved, we have ordered some, well, there was money raised and pieces were ordered, but
But
there
is
was
it
some
the responsibility of the PTC to pay for these playgrounds?
I'm just telling you what was.
Yeah, it's a question too. Is it the responsibility of the PTC to pay for the playgrounds?
I think it assists, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's their sole responsibility, but I think across the board, historically, a lot of the PTCs have been pretty involved in raising money for their playgrounds and other things that they'd like to see done at their schools. Yeah.
About 4 years ago, we redid all 4 of the playgrounds. So I'm shocked. Yep. I'm shocked to hear that it's in such poor condition.
I don't believe Southridge redid their playgrounds with the money that they were given. I heard it was used to purchase furniture.
Oh, that's not true.
No, that was another
I worked with the playground person. We had a playground specialist come out and we redid 4 playgrounds. And the principal was in on...
Have you visited the playground?
Yeah.
It does not look like it was totally redone, I guess.
Well, that's why I'm saying, I haven't seen it recently.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised.
I'm sorry, guys, at this point, we're well over the 3 minutes, so I'm going to encourage you to just meet with either Dr. Smith or Dr. Black and Mr. Beveridge, and we could definitely follow this up offline.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure thing.
So, because I don't know, are the playgrounds under the operations fund?
The playgrounds, yeah, for what's being cut with property taxes.
Yeah,
That's what
I assumed it was an operations fund because I believe the governor said that he expects public education to trim the fat in overhead spending, and that's why we had to cut in the property tax bill, Senate Bill 1, that was property tax relief, but is impacting our operations. So as we're looking at some of these things, it appears to me that the administration at the state level sees this as unnecessary items. That's what it appears to me.
And the bad part, I'll just quickly mention, and we certainly would love to meet with you and talk with you, and because we've done extensive work on it and ordered pieces and tried to do some, it all comes from China, and the stuff's been, then it didn't fit, so we had to get adapters. It doesn't fit, and it's just, there's been a lot of issues with it, so I just want to mention that we've put a lot of time and effort in. To replace that piece, it's about $80,000. It's not a 5, 10, 15. It's super, super, super expensive. So, but we'd be more than happy to sit down and discuss it, without a doubt. Yeah, and share with you what we found.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sir, floor is yours.
Rick Bowler, 9221 Parkway Drive, Highland, Indiana. I appreciate this young lady, very young lady, mother, contributing to this part of the program. And it's like, I think it's an obvious thing that we were well beyond 3 minutes, and I have no complaint at all. I think it was the contribution by the board was, and the superintendent was very helpful. I have a very quick question. I'm not looking for an answer. May the 2nd was the deadline for ending the new enrollment for outside students. 60 for kindergarten and 26 for first grade. And I wondered how we were. Please, I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just putting it on the table. I want to address an issue on Senate Bill 287. Mr. Garcia has offered many comments about this. I have found them to be very, very helpful, very insightful. I want to take this opportunity to offer still more credit to the members that are local, state, in the Senate, in the House. Let's get some names there. Mr. Denault voted no. Mr. Niemeyer of Lowell voted no. That vote was 26 to 24. And I congratulate each of them, even though it was a losing cause, that they voted no on that issue. Another one, Mike Andrade, voted no. I appreciate his vote. Julie Altoff voted no, and Hal Slater voted no. This is the one where school board members starting in 2026 will have to declare a party, Republican, Democrat, or another party label, or they can declare that they are nonpartisan. I'm going to offer a comment here, please. I'm not trying to advocate anything, I'm just offering a comment. Boys volleyball is ending now, the season has come to an end, or coming to an end. Munster, our next door neighbor, had an 8-17 record, and I saw a number of their games. I thought it was very exciting and a very good program. And they finished sectional, they're in regional, and moving to the state final in this week and early next week. I want to offer a comment about a scoreboard, which I've offered. Mr. Erling has done a review. I think it'll be very helpful for public speaking. The numerals are 6 inches tall, and the thing is about 17.5 inches wide. If he finds it helpful, he may bring it to your attention. He likes the idea. And I think it would be very helpful for all of us to see a public display somewhere in this room. These are good tall letters, and I think it'll be helpful to all of us. And I think there's a comment I'm missing here, but I apologize. But I appreciate having the chance to talk. Thank you.
Any further comments tonight? Last chance. All right. On to board comments. Ms. Shelley.
Well, I'd just like to congratulate all our graduating students this year. Moving on to the next part of their lives. And I would like to just point out that many of our student groups are out in the community. And I always appreciate to see that. And that's all I really got to say.
Great.
On to you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. So good luck on finals. I'm excited about graduation. We have traditionally enjoyed a very high graduation rate in our district, and I always really enjoy being able to hear the percentage of our student body and what they're doing next, whether it's going into the military, going into the workforce, or going to higher education. Do want to also thank our staff. Dr. Erlacki sharing that they're coming in, especially as we're at the tail end of the school year where they're ready to disconnect and take a break, and being willing to put in another day's work when they don't contractually have to do that. That is commendable. To Ms. Lynch for 24 years, that's just absolutely amazing, and going to be a hard shoes to fill, but we appreciate all the work that was done there. Yeah, I think other than that, I know I appreciate Mr. Volbrecht's comments about how our local delegation had voted, especially on Senate Bill 287. I've personally spoken with Senator Durnall and have not heard that there's any conversation about him presenting on school board funding, but I do know Legacy Foundation is hosting an event next week where Hal Slager and I can't remember the other one will be presenting on what the new laws, how they anticipate those are going to impact public education in Northwest Indiana. I will share that I will continue to express my disappointment with the state legislature and the choices that were made in terms of funding K-12 education, it being the largest part of the state budget, and yet we are expected to do with less. So we're spending more money of our tax dollars, but less money is coming to the schools that our families are choosing to send their kids to. So that continues to be a concern of mine. Other than that, this is the last meeting before summer. So good luck having your kids at home, and that's it. I'll move it on.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Mrs. Gilman.
Yeah, I want to start by saying congratulations to Ms. Lynch on her retirement. We have so many people who work for Highland their entire careers, or the majority of their careers, and I think that speaks volumes to the environment here, and I appreciate them so much. It's May, so I want to say thank you to our teachers and our parents. Students, May is rough, stay focused, so again, thank you to the teachers who are holding on by the very tips of their fingernails at this point. We appreciate them, and we appreciate them coming in and doing the extra work. I do have a little update on the sectional. Jolie Burleson came in first in the mile.
Yes.
Her mom, I was texting her mom, so congratulations to her. I want to congratulate our graduating seniors and their families. This is my younger son's final year here, and it is hard for me to believe that he is a senior, and I cannot thank Highland enough. I cannot think of a better environment for him to have grown up in, and I appreciate everyone who worked hard on his education and continue to work with all of our kids and families every single day. And with that said, I will see you all at graduation. Thank you.
Up to you, Mr. Koo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Diddle everything that was said by the prior three board members, so I won't exhaust that. I do want to thank the town council for the social worker. That sounds like it's going to be a good unmet need, I'm thinking. As Dr. Erdwag said, we'll see, but sounds like it's going to be. So thank the town council. I know that they're in the same situation we are with funding too, right? Everyone, with what different Senate bills passed that were talked about, they're going to be financially strapped too, so we'd really like to thank them. Thank you for doing that, Dr. Smith, Dr. Lack, Ms. Gassman too, involved. Same thing, thank you for doing the online school, looking at that, looking for different approaches to find, because every dollar matters, obviously, that the more we could scrape out, it helps out as far as education. Seniors, same thing, congratulations, look forward to seeing you on graduation day. Is it 5 days? What's the official number of learning left? 5 days of learning?
6 days.
6 days
Yeah.
of learning.
Mhm.
Make good choices, right? Make good choices. That's
It'll be
always
hard.
what's been said. And same thing, teachers and that, thank you for everything you did, and keep doing. I really appreciate it. Have a great summer. Have a very great Memorial Day weekend. Think of everyone that's gone that has obviously served this country and is serving. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers too, and that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, I wanted to just leave with thanking Mrs. Gossman and all the counselors. A very busy time of year, the last 6 weeks or so, as we're buttoning up all the scheduling, and I think there's probably still a couple of bumps that we have to iron out. But there's definitely a lot of sweat that goes into this time of year, so I want to thank them for all of their efforts with that. Dollars for Scholars. They do an incredible job. What was the exact number or roundabout number that they handed out? Do we know? It was big. I didn't hear the exact, yeah.
I'll get you that.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Yeah.
'Cause it's typically like a lot. We'll go
What
with
would you
that.
guess? What's the
We'll go with
ballpark?
the lot. I'll say at least 100K.
Okay.
I bet it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So, a lot of kids got scholarships. It's an incredible program, and the students, the seniors are thrilled when it comes around, and you got to just say thanks when thanks is due, right? There's a lot of effort there that goes across, not only the folks that are involved with that, but across the community that help fund all these scholarships. Girls on the Run, big success, lots of runners last Saturday. It was an incredible turnout, incredible amount of participation. So it was, that was great there. My weeks are blurred together. Last week was breakfast? Yeah? I think
Yeah, the
last
breakfast,
week we were on
the appreciation breakfast.
So, yeah, it was great to be in all the schools. I missed Southridge. Sorry, I was in Virginia. Mardi Gras. I missed the big party. But all the schools, the breakfasts were great. I got a little bit fatter. It was good seeing the teachers and the staff in those, in all the buildings. So thanks for that. Congrats. Huh?
You were amazing.
I was amazing according to one. We were amazing, according to Merkley. Our Honor Society inductees, congratulations. We have a lot of those going on, both at the high school and the middle school. The President's Cup winner. They put the student and student athlete. It was announced yesterday. Our girls track team won the honors this past season with a cumulative GPA of 4.02. Followed closely by the boys track team. So I don't know what they got in the water over there, but the track team's cooking. The boys finished with a cumulative GPA of 4.01. Yeah, that's fantastic. So our track teams averaged an A. Girls tennis team, 3.92. Baseball team, 3.83. And girls softball at 3.76 finished out the top 5. So congratulations to our student athletes. Golf outing, the athletic department golf outing is the end of June. So if you want to go and get some laughs, you could watch me swing a club. Best of luck to all of our athletes as we start sectionals. Got some high hopes across some teams, so hopefully we can carry those through. Congratulations to the theater group for their play that they had a couple of weekends ago. Best of luck to our soon-to-be graduates. It's crazy. Our little cowboy is growing up, almost off, out the door. Rick, you got one this year?
Not this year.
No? Okay.
No, next year.
I mean, I got a couple, I got a break, so. A couple of days left. As Mr. Kuba aptly said, as we finish strong, make good choices. I'd like to see all of our graduates at the graduation. In an age-old tradition, well, not an age-old, but we had a great tradition, have the 2025 version this past Monday, the senior walk. All the students that are graduating have the opportunity to go to an elementary school, Ideally, the one they attended if they were here. If not, I think they get to choose a school and walk around, see some of the teachers that are still there that taught them. It's a fantastic event. I know all the board members are excited about it. Many of the teachers are excited about it, so it's great to see that continue on. Thanks to our teachers and the staff for all their efforts, right? They do a lot. That's an understatement. They do an incredible amount. And it's just, it all comes to fruition on graduation day. To see all the kids in all those years, whether they're going in the military, whether they're going into the workforce, or whether they're going off to school, I wish them all the best of luck. You will always be a Highland Trojan. Hold that close. And, it's just, I'm continuing to scratch my head when we talk about funding. What the state is doing right now is as a taxpayer, I guess it's great that I have a tax cut. I guess it's great that maybe my property tax is going to go down a smidge, but I mean, the municipal town is going to lose $3 million over the next 3 years in funding. The school town is going to lose $3 million over the next 3 years in funding. I'm not sure how much the library is going to lose on top of that, but we're having, across our community, an incredible hit that it's just the town council, the department heads, our school administration staff, there is a huge gap that we just have to finance. And it's just, I mean, I'll due respect, the playgrounds are important, but I'm worried about busing in 2 years. There's some significant gaps that we have to bridge to just continue to succeed with educating our students. I look forward to our administrative staff with the ideas. I know you put a lot of thought into this. We knew it was coming. But there's a lot going on that I have some significant concerns over the next few years. And I hope that my concerns don't come to fruition, because there's some bad things that could happen in the not too distant future. So I'll end on that high note. Our next board meeting, when's our next board meeting?
I think June.
It's next month.
It's in
Second
June.
Tuesday.
Normally it's on June.
June 17th.
Right? Is it June 17th?
June 17th.
All right. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, June 17th, in this very room at 6 p.m. It's shorts and Hawaiian shirt day?
Yep.
Is that what I heard
Yep.
from the board members? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to
Motion
adjourn?
to adjourn, Mr. President.
We got a motion. All right. Have a good day, everybody.